Le capitaine Traoré Ibrahim est nommé président du MPSR pour compter de ce jour.
As the vision of one man has awakened a sleeping giant in West Africa, Burkina Faso, once seen as a struggling, overlooked nation, has begun transforming into a center of innovation and possibility. From life-saving healthcare reforms for the poor to a complete overhaul of gold mining, Ibrahim Traoré has launched 10 groundbreaking mega-projects.
It's Africa's misfortune, if I may say so. We are not united. We don't see things the same way.
Shaking the West and reshaping every corner of the country. This is the story of a new nation rising. Africa has a long way to go, but it is not impossible. It is absolutely possible. That belief drives Ibrahim Traoré, a leader many now compare to the bold visionaries of history. The new Ouagadougou-Danson International Airport. In an era where political promises often fade into dust, one African leader decided to deliver, not with speeches, but with engineering, strategy, and unstoppable ambition. The newly launched Ouagadougou-Danson International Airport is more than terminals and tarmac. It is a living proof of Traoré's commitment to connect Burkina Faso to the global stage. Back in 2013, officials admitted what everyone already knew. The old Thomas Sankara International Airport had outgrown its capacity. Plans were drafted, then forgotten. But under Traoré's leadership, the abandoned dream roared back to life in 2021 with new energy and partnerships, including guidance from Aéroport de Paris management. What emerged was bold, 11,000-foot runway capable of receiving wide-body jets, 25,000 square meter passenger terminal with duty-free shops, Burkina cuisine, and premium lounges, 15,000 square meter cargo terminal, turning Burkina Faso into a logistics gateway for landlocked West Africa. But the true transformation goes beyond the buildings. This airport shifts Burkina Faso from a simple transit stop to a destination. It positions the country to host major global events, draw foreign investors, attract tourism, and serve as a regional headquarters hub for multinational companies. Over 5,000 new jobs across aviation, customs, hospitality, logistics, and security. Set to be fully completed in 2025, this project is more overdue infrastructure. It is the physical, undeniable proof of Traoré's vision, a sovereign, connected, competitive Burkina Faso finally taking control of its own future. This airport isn't just a gateway, it is freedom, assigned with a flight number.
Local tomato processing from soil to shelf. When President Ibrahim Traoré cut the ribbon on Burkina Faso's first-ever tomato processing plant, it wasn't just the opening of a factory, it was a quiet revolution, not against a nation, but against the global system that has, for centuries, dictated that Africa grows the raw goods while others reap the profits. In the sun-baked northern town of Yako, the ceremony marked the end of an old cycle. For decades, farmers produced more tomatoes than the market could absorb. Tons of harvests spoiled under the heat, wasted simply because they couldn't be processed in time. With this single facility, that story changes. Built at a cost of $8.9 million, the plant represents a complete shift in Burkina Faso's economic direction, a future where manufacturing, not raw exports, defines national growth. And the ambition is evident in the specs. On just 1 hectare of land near the water-reliable Yako Dam stands a factory capable of processing 100 tons of fresh tomatoes per day, 5 tons every hour at full capacity. The location was not chosen by chance. It's part of a larger national blueprint, Traoré's strategy to finally merge agriculture with industry, connecting field to factory, farmer to finished product. But behind the stainless steel machinery lies something far bigger. In its first year alone, the plant is projected to generate $11.2 million in revenue, proving that local value addition is not a dream, but a working model. The tomato products, paste, concentrate, preserved goods, meet high standards and are already competing with imports. What makes this project truly groundbreaking is the ownership model. This isn't a foreign-run enterprise or a purely state-owned venture. It's a cooperative. Local farmers hold real equity. The same hands that plant the seeds now share in the profits of what their crops become. The impact reaches far beyond production numbers. Burkina Faso has long relied on imported tomato paste, while local harvests rotted away. Now, one smart facility solves 2 national problems at once: import dependence and market access. With this single project, food security aligns with economic sovereignty, and Burkina Faso begins rewriting its place in the global value chain. A gold empire like no other.
A gold empire. For decades after independence, Burkina Faso watched its gold leave the country raw and unrefined, while the real profits were made elsewhere. But everything changed in just 18 months. In November 2023, under the blazing heat of the goldfields, President Ibrahim Traoré laid the foundation stone for the nation's first-ever gold refinery, a move that signaled the birth of a true gold empire. This refinery is more than a building. It represents sovereignty. Its capacity to refine 150 tons of gold per year with 99.9% purity places Burkina Faso on the global stage. Designed for both artisanal and industrial miners, the facility includes advanced smelting systems, high-security vaults, and world-class assay laboratories, meeting and even exceeding international standards, including environmental safeguards. For the first time, miners won't be forced to sell raw ore to foreign buyers at discounted prices. Domestic refining means profits stay home, value capture increases by up to 60%, and the nation gains the ability to build its own gold reserves. The transformation ripples outward: new technical jobs, new service industries, new trade routes, and new hope for young Burkina Faso professionals. With this refinery, Burkina Faso steps onto the world stage not as an exporter of raw materials, but as a nation controlling its own wealth, purified, priced, and owned on Burkina Faso soil for a Burkina Faso future.
Infrastructure roads. Across the vast landscapes of Burkina Faso, stretching from the cotton-rich southwest to the dry herding corridors of the north, a silent revolution is unfolding. Under President Ibrahim's leadership, infrastructure is no longer defined by asphalt and concrete alone. It has become the backbone of national transformation, linking farmers to markets, children to schools, and families to life-saving healthcare. At the center of this shift is a sweeping road development program, one of the clearest signs of the country's new direction. Major highways are being redesigned to connect Burkina Faso with coastal neighbors, cutting transport costs and slashing travel times for traders and travelers alike. These aren't rough dirt tracks, they're roads built to international standards, complete with drainage systems, proper signage, and modern safety features. Secondary roads push even deeper into rural regions, turning once muddy, impassable paths into reliable all-season routes. For farming communities, these roads are nothing short of revolutionary. A harvest that once rotted in the fields during rainy seasons can now reach markets on time, turning lost produce into income and opportunity. But beneath the surface lies something even more powerful: economic ignition. Road construction fuels thousands of jobs, training young workers in machinery, engineering, logistics, and modern construction techniques. The wages they earn flow back into small towns, reviving local markets and breathing life into communities long forgotten. Strategic planning guides every kilometer. These roads are designed to open the country's future, unlocking access to mineral-rich zones, fertile farmland, and untouched landscapes with tourism potential. They also strengthen security, giving forces quick access to areas that were once isolated. Engineering this network across such varied terrain is a major challenge. What survives the Sahel's shifting sands won't withstand the humid south. Domestic companies now collaborate with international experts to build durable infrastructure and ensure maintenance for decades to come. As new ribbons of asphalt spread across Burkina Faso, they're doing more than moving people and goods. They're stitching the nation together, accelerating economic growth, and drawing the blueprint of a stronger, more connected future. One built not just with roads, but with vision.
Premier processing plant. Before the second tomato processing plant ever opened its doors, a quieter revolution had already taken root. In Bobo-Dioulasso, the commercial heartbeat of Burkina Faso, the nation's first tomato processing facility roared to life. A 7.5 billion franc investment that did far more than launch a factory. It sparked a movement, an early piece of Ibrahim's blueprint to transform raw harvests into homegrown wealth. But this wasn't just a building of steel and machinery, it was a redefinition of the nation's relationship with agriculture. Designed to process 100 tons of tomatoes per day, this groundbreaking plant shifted Burkina Faso from exporting low-value produce to producing high-value goods that keep profits within its borders. For the first time, Burkinabe consumers could trust that local shelves carried products made with quality, safety, and pride. Its location in the country's second-largest city was deliberate. Bobo-Dioulasso already had the roads, markets, workforce, and infrastructure needed to turn a factory into a multiplier of opportunity. Spread across 5 hectares, the facility features a 1,200-meter production hall, raw material reception zones, finished goods warehouses, and precision quality control labs, staffed by technicians trained to international food safety standards. Yes, the second plant captured the headlines, but this first plant made history. Together, the two facilities, capable of processing a combined 200 tons of tomatoes every day, have given farmers something they never had before. What once rotted in the fields can now be transformed into jobs and value across the entire agricultural supply chain. For Burkina Faso, this marks a giant leap. For Africa, a powerful signal. For the West, a reminder that reliance is fading and competition is rising. But the real strength lies in versatility. These plants don't just produce paste. They create thick concentrates, sauce bases, and flavor blends tailored to West African culinary traditions, products that don't just replace imports, but outperform them. And just as bold as the production lines is the financing model. Instead of relying solely on foreign lenders or state budgets, Ibrahim combined public investment with community shareholding. The result? Factories that don't just process tomatoes, they build ownership, placing real economic power in the hands of the very people who grow the future, one harvest at a time.
Revival of national aviation. A familiar sight has returned to Burkina Faso's skies, the bold red and green livery of Air Burkina, once branded by years of financial collapse, now soaring again with renewed purpose. At the center of this aviation comeback is President Ibrahim Traoré, whose decisive investment didn't just rescue an airline, it restored a national symbol. Reviving Air Burkina was never going to be a cosmetic overhaul. It meant confronting decades of aging aircraft, neglected infrastructure, limited routes, and inconsistent maintenance systems. Ibrahim's administration tackled these challenges head-on through a strategic, multi-phase reconstruction plan. It began with government-backed financial stabilization, followed by new leadership committed to efficiency, transparency, and long-term sustainability. But the real transformation happened in the sky and on the ground. Fleet modernization brought fuel-efficient aircraft capable of serving both short-haul and international routes. Maintenance hangars were upgraded, state-of-the-art equipment installed, and aviation technicians trained to global safety standards. These improvements now support not just Air Burkina, but other regional carriers, turning Ouagadougou into a rising aviation hub. Equally important was the new route map. Air Burkina now connects Ouagadougou to key West African capitals, boosting trade and regional diplomacy. New links to Europe and North Africa mean citizens can travel abroad without relying solely on foreign hubs, restoring convenience and national pride. And behind every aircraft is the human engine powering the revival. The airline's return has created thousands of jobs for pilots, crew, engineers, and ground staff. Training programs developed in partnership with international aviation bodies offer young Burkinabe the chance to build high-skill careers at home. Yet the greatest impact extends beyond aviation. Reliable air connectivity strengthens business travel, attracts investors, and fuels tourism. Burkina Faso is no longer seen as difficult to reach, but as a nation stepping confidently onto the global stage. Today, as Air Burkina aircraft rise from the runways of Ouagadougou, they carry more than passengers. They carry a renewed sense of identity, sovereignty, and ambition, symbols of a Burkina Faso rising with purpose and pride.